All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the episode 2 of Mana
Woot
Problems.
woot.
As always, here at the Gamers Guild in Hobbs, New Mexico, I'm Jay, joined by my co-host,
I'm Chad, Old Man Magic, Blaster.
and always joined by Isaiah in the booth. Today we've got a fun episode, man.
Yes.
We've got a lot of stuff going out, especially today with Wizards dropping a huge leak on the new Marvel set,
Man, it was
which is super early.
incredibly early in comparison to we haven't even seen like a little bit of Lorwyn. We've seen maybe like 6 cards, and that's with lands from Turtles. We haven't seen anything from Strixhaven, and then they're giving them the summer release. A big bump right now is insane.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to me, honestly, but I do see where they're coming from a business standpoint. They're really trying to get people hyped for this set coming out this summer. They want to see Final Fantasy numbers coming out of this Marvel set.
And they dropped some powerful cards.
Definitely. They dropped some serious heat in just this leak. So I can't wait to see what's actually coming in the whole set, because if this is just what's leaked, I can't even believe what's going to come out in the rest of it.
It's called gross.
But we're going to get into that a little bit later in the episode. We're also going to touch on that fun deck tech challenge that we put out last episode for you.
Yeah.
So we're going to be touching on the deck that you built. I've seen the preview. It's gross, but we're going to show everybody at home what you came up with for this deck.
Evil Genius.
Raga Draga Gorguts boss, which is super fun too. And then we're going to also touch on a little bit of the standard community right now. I mean, we've seen Avatar come out, so we're going to kind of talk about what Earthbending's doing, what Firebending's doing, speeding up games, what some of these new cards that have released in the Avatar set are really doing to speed up the game of standard, to speed up Commander, and kind of go from there. And then we also have a really fun segment breaking down what we talked about last episode as well on Magic in the Olympics, which we're really going to break a little bit more of that down and kind of give you some more insight on what we are planning for that.
Hopefully everybody likes it. It's really interesting, and I think it's a good way of setting up where it's an even playing field for everybody for that.
Definitely. But starting off with some community reactions, which we've kind of already got into a little bit last episode, but kind of touching more this episode. Obviously, we're seeing some big pushes in Earthbending.
Yeah, Earthbending is the one that's been seen the most and probably abused the most in most of the formats.
Definitely.
And a lot of just...
I'm definitely seeing, a spike in Earthbending, a spike in Firebending is definitely, especially in mono red decks, we're definitely seeing a big spike in Firebending with things like Sozin's Comet and Firebending Student. Things like that are really adding some aggression and some extra mana flow, pairing with those Birgi Electro combinations.
And then you also have, like, in the standard world, you got the Electro and the Student together are just housing some people.
Oh, yeah.
And then the other one that's kind of like, I think showing up a lot because of how gross it is the 3-drop Aang with Flash and Flying.
Mm-hmm.
He's just, and then if you can get enough to where you can flip him, then he's just another house, and just a 2/2 flying with airbending and waterbending. He's just, and you flip him over. I think he's a 4/4 or 5/5, one of the two.
Something like, I think it's a 5/5.
It's not like sitting in my brain at the second, but it's just like, oh, because if you can flip him over, then it's just like you've got to have something that can hold him or contain him or kill him. And at that point, you're like, well, he's playing white-blue, so he's got control aspects, and he's going to counter whatever you throw at it just to keep that guy alive, because he's your win con in certain cases for that kind of a standard deck. Not to mention counterspell. Don't let you play anything.
I mean, yeah, that color combination alone is just life gain and counterspell. Yeah. So it's a problem to deal with as it is.
But I think most of it's they're using it as in a Jeskai build for standard, which is just like, you just want to get sick because you got the counters, you got the life gain,
you've got burn,
and then
you've got firebending for mana gain. You've got a lot of stuff that just creates a massive problem. On the board.
And then obviously you got the Badger Mole Cub still. It's now, last I saw it was a week ago, $50. This week it's like 75, 80.
Yeah, it's shooting up. It's staying shot up, which is crazy. I mean, we're seeing. I believe it started out.
It was started at 40, if
Yeah,
I'm
it
not
was about
mistaken.
$40. Right now, if you're getting the standard just
Gennaro.
release, you're looking at about $50. But it started the beginning of November, which is 5 weeks ago now. It started at $30. We're seeing it shoot up to 50.
Uh-huh.
It's probably going to shoot up more. It did shoot up more to like 60. It's back down to around 50 because I feel like a lot of people who've wanted it are getting it now and doing their thing. But I feel like it's going to hold pretty steady around the $40 range for a while.
Considering it's being played in every format. I've seen some Pioneer decks with it. I've seen some Modern decks with it. And Commander is showing up. I don't know if it's made its way into Vintage or Legacy yet, but oh my lord, this thing is gross.
Yeah, and we've also seen a lot of uproar on the internet about the earthbending student controversy.
Why did you put a card that's supposed to be in Jumpstart and forgot to put it in the Jumpstart stuff, and it's only available in the collector packs? Man, good grief! That's one of those goof ups. You go,
that was a flop. That was a big flop.
Where did you go out? And then now the price tag for the card is, because of the only place to get it is in the collectors. Makes it the inflation of it. It's
crazy.
overinflated
Again.
for what the price is for the card.
Mm-hmm.
It's not what I'd call it's a good card. It's not an amazingly good card, but it's not bad. But it's just like now it's because of the rarity, and like, oh my God, we got to get, it's like.
I mean, we're looking at a start of about $4, and it's spiked up to $35 now because of rarity, that flop.
The rarity.
Now it's only available in collector boosters, and that's
dumb,
crazy to me that they pulled that one.
I mean, granted, I guess they can fix it because this thing is going to be in print for 3 years at least.
Yeah.
So they can fix it, but I'm just like, after the first run, it's going to be like one of those cards that everybody's like, oh, I gotta have it. And it's like, I don't think it's going to be that price tag for long.
No.
But hopefully they fix it whenever they do the next print run for the Jumpstart stuff, which is amazingly good. This Jumpstart set is disgustingly good. I think it's amazing.
One of the better Jumpstart sets that's come out in the last few years, for sure.
The one Foundation Jumpstart was good. The 2022, I think, was the one, and then the original. All those have been great. The ones that they kind of just shoved a bunch of reprints of the set into those flopped, and it just didn't float well.
They're going to, though, because they're just massive reprint sets, and nobody wants those.
But the funny part is the Jumpstart from 2022, the front Foundations, and this one has a lot of unique cards specifically for Jumpstart, which is great. I think it's great. I mean, some people may argue with me about it, and I'm like going, okay, let's argue. But I like the fact that there are unique cards in the Jumpstart stuff. I wish they weren't all unique, but it's fun because now that they move into Commander immediately. I mean, and like some other people have said, if you don't want to bust it up the things, you can keep them in repacks and play it again and play Jumpstart again and again and again. It's a great product. I love it.
Well, I feel like Standard as a whole is really it's forgotten quite a bit because of
Arena.
Yeah. Exactly, because of MTG Arena. Most Standard players play MTG Arena. That's probably a safe assumption. If you play Standard as your primary mode of gameplay, you probably play MTG Arena. Or you have at some point.
And that's my big problem with it. And I don't play Arena for that reason. I mean,
the same reason I don't play Arena is because I don't want to go play Standard on my phone and then come to my LGS
and
play Magic the Gathering, to play Magic the Gathering Arena on a table. That's
the
redundant.
Other side of it is, I can't. I have a limited budget from where I'm at, and my budget lets me buy packs here or singles here. I do a lot of trading to get what I want. But after that, it's kind of like you've only got so much income. And to play on Arena, it's not so much you buy all this stuff, but you have to spend some money to buy the packs or the gems. Or
I feel like
it's just like it becomes a pain.
Just like any mobile game nowadays or video game nowadays, it's pay to win.
Or pay to get the one card you want,
pay to get the gems or to get the gold or to get the this or that, to get the packs to open, to get the one card that you need, and it ends up costing you
the whoopee.
You're paying $150 in a phone game in order to open a virtual pack that you don't even get the card in real life. Like,
I mean, that's the one thing about Magic Online originally that was a really cool thing. If you got a playset of the set of cards on your online, they made you cash it in, but they sent you a full playset.
mm-hmm.
Then they changed it to where if you got a playset, they sent you a single, a full set of it, and then they got rid of it. And I'm like going, because people were going in and trading in all this online rigmarole
Mm-hmm.
for a full set of actual Magic cards. Some of those cards were actually worth it to do it. But now it's like, well, there's no reason to trade. There's no reason to barter with somebody to go, hey, can I get this off you? And let's do a little bit of haggling, and I'll pay you some money for this, and then we can do some trade, part money or part, whatever. And
the good old days.
Well, I mean, I still try to trade as much as I possible can, but whenever it comes down to a lot of people's opinion, you would take cash for that? I'm like, I can. I'm not stupid, but I'd rather do trades, because that way I get something else that I may be able to advance up, or make somebody else happy.
Yeah. add to the sets that we're trying to complete.
Yeah. I mean, if you want complete sets of, or somebody was calling them master sets the other day. I was like, going, what the hell are you talking about? Because I'd never heard of this before. But it's a statement in other card games where you get a one complete set, one of every card from the set. I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. But I just called it a play set because I was from Magic, and you've got 4 of everything.
Yep.
4 of everything is a play set of the entire set, which is great. But now it's like the amount of space that you would need to house that kind of collection is insane. And
I mean,
talking from a guy who's got a color binder for every color, and they're full to the max at a point where all my binders together weigh up like over 100 pounds. So, I mean, let's be honest.
I mean,
I'm a crazy man.
Yeah. Between, most of our major collectors here, we have probably 7 figures worth of cards in quantity. It's a lot to store in house, and then you want to talk about having 4 of every card in a set. That takes a tremendous amount of storage space, which most people just don't have unless you have a warehouse dedicated to this.
I mean, I've got a garage, but that's because it's where I'm at this point. But I mean, the Gamers Guild acquitted me a little room in the back to kind of house my trades for most of my cards, so that I can be able to trade with anybody at any moment here, which is very nice. And it allows it safe. It's locked away, and I got nobody digging through it for no reason. But it's nice to have it in one place and accessible, instead of, oh, I've got that at home, let me go run and get it, and I have to leave and come back and spend gas money and all this other stuff just to go and get somebody to trade.
Yeah, exactly. It's just easier to have stuff readily available, which is great, which is the best part about, having the community that we have here.
And the community here is great, and the people here we have fun with it. We always have, some people who are just can be jerks, but by and far, everybody here is great. Their attitude's great. They build some crazy stuff, some annoying, some drive you bonkers good, some drive you bonkers like, why did you do this? This is insane. But the guy who builds them makes it work for him, and you're like, okay, it works. You alive over there? Yeah. Okay.
Our sound engineer is dying in the booth.
But I mean, we've got a guy who plays here who built an entire a goblin deck for Commander, and he used, according to this guy, the wrong Krinko.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. I was like,
no. He built it, but he built it in a different way. He built it for more
attack triggers.
Attack triggers and Voltron. He built it for twist of how certain people play and how certain people use
and
their abilities.
to touch on specifically Goblin Tribal,
Yeah,
there are a lot of great goblins you can
yes.
use as a commander that aren't Cranko Mob Boss.
No.
Tinstry Kingpin is a great, viable commander for someone who likes attack triggers and likes building Voltrons and swinging lethal.
Right.
Cranko Mob Boss is obviously the way
wide.
to go when you're playing in a CDH format because you're swinging wide. Your goblins are being used for things that aren't just attacking. Their mana, their blockers, their cannon fodder, their damage doers.
Yeah, well, I mean,
they're used to kill creatures. They're used to deal damage.
Yeah.
So they're used in an infinite loop to just win the game, which, if you play Cranko Mob Boss, we can do a little bit of an in-depth analysis on that. If that's something you guys want to know, let us know in the comments and we can do an episode on Cranko Mob Boss because I think I play probably one of the most lethal ones in the game.
Well, at the moment, there's always the new ads. New ads are always there. Can't wait for.
You've got other great viable options like Palacic Mons. You've got General Crete, the Bolt Bringer. You've got Kiki Jiki, the Mirror Breaker.
You also got Zedru?
Yeah, Zadra, Hedron Grinder is gross if you play a lot of instants that target. Like Zada is a really great option.
Yeah.
So there's other options in there. There's also a really great goblin deck built around Devilish Valet.
Oh, yeah.
Which is super fun. I mean, Devilish Valet itself is not a goblin, but does really gross things with like Goblin Pile Driver and stuff like that in it. It does crazy damage just swinging lethal.
And then, I mean, just for whenever you shift for your own purposes, it's great. And if you can play that kind of stuff, and personal preferences aside, you've always got people that are going to go, well, that's not the right commander to use. He sucks. And it was like, well, no, it's not that. It's just, hey, it works for this guy. So, and I mean, you got the stuff from Avatar and this stuff that's recently come out is so broad stroked in the sense of.
I mean, we definitely saw some cool stuff with like the Badger Mole Cup.
Oh,
definitely seeing a lot of play with Badger Mole Cup. We're seeing a lot of stuff with Iroh Grand Lotus, giving all of your lessons flashback. I mean, that's gross. If you can, build that right, you can really do a lot of interaction in one turn.
And Master Gyatso's combos.
Gyatso. You've got just the earthbending combinations. If you're getting into a more high dollar with Gaia's Cradle.
Oh, yeah, the new tricks with Gaia's Cradle are insane for Commander.
But don't get me wrong, not everyone has the budget for a Gaia's Cradle right now. I believe is going for about $1,000 on TCG Player in near mint. You can get a heavily played one for about $890, but I mean, who really has $800 to drop on a single Magic card right now? Not a lot of us have
quote unquote cardboard
for cardboard.
On a piece of cardboard.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, granted, Gaia's Cradle is an absolutely disgusting card. That's why it's a game changer. It does gross things, especially when you're making a ton of creatures. But doing this new stuff with earthbending is even grosser because now you're just turning everything into creatures and tapping Gaia's Cradle for crazy amounts of mana.
Yeah.
Also, going into this Marvel League, we're seeing some cards that are going to shake up Standard, Commander. We're seeing some crazy stuff that they just leaked.
My lord. My man. This in Caltrips is going to be dumb.
That Incredible Hulk card in Caltrips is going to be the grossest combination.
And you can see it coming a mile away, but can you do anything about it?
That's the downside, is you're going to see it coming from a mile away. But are you going to have the interaction to do something about it?
Oh, my Lord. Then you got the guy, Quicksilver. I'm going to play him for free before the game starts.
Yeah. And just instantly start giving stuff 1/1 counters and double strike. And just drop
That's after 5. But, I mean, good grief. You could drop him for free.
But you're going to see this Quicksilver go into every Birgi Electro combo.
Oh, ugh.
You're going to see all of the mana copying, all of this stuff to start doubling this thing.
I was
just
talking
making it grosser and grosser and grosser.
Like I was saying, I was talking with my brother, and I said he's going to replace Ragavan in a lot of decks because you can come out for free.
I can definitely.
And he said, well, there's a difference between where you want it in the Ragavan and where you want this guy. Quicksilver's going to.
I don't know if it's going to replace Ragavans, but I definitely think it's going to see a lot of play beside Ragavan.
Oh, no,
for sure. in a lot of these decks.
Our other intern just showed up. Our four-legged friend Riley. Whenever we get a chance, we'll introduce him to y'all all.
He'll probably be in the bonus episode for coming up after this. We'll talk about our bonus episode coming up after this, and another fun deck tech challenge for Chad, featuring his favorite color. It's going to be so much fun for him. I can't wait to see what he does with this.
I should shoot you for that, man.
Well, I think after the nonsense, the absolute utter nonsense you pulled with this Raga Draga, you kind of deserve this. I'm not
that mean as to actually force me to do this, but good grief.
You know, I asked you to build a deck that was kind of chill, that would be fun to play, and you came with the grossest thing I think you could have possibly made in Gruul. And, I mean,
I started having fun.
Yeah, you really did. I've already got the deck list, guys, but we're going to go through this deck list a little bit later in the episode and really start breaking this down for you guys, and you'll see why it's so bad and why it's going to be a really horrible bonus episode for everyone else involved at the table. So, yeah. I'm going to have to bring Eldrazi against that or something. I don't know what the heck I'm going to do about that. Man, you've got my brain spinning now on how the heck I'm going to answer this thing.
Which is kind of the idea whenever you throw something at some people. What are they going to go, oh, how do I answer this? Well, you start going, oh, well, there's this. Oh, Lord, that's not cool. So, yeah.
Well, definitely going into these Marvel leaks.
Dude.
I mean, we're talking about some crazy stuff that came in.
I'm loving the Submariner, Namor stuff.
The Namor stuff was
great.
Not just what it's doing, but the artwork. Oh, I love the return to the comic art like we saw it in Spider-Man, which I really hope, if we're going to continue these Marvel sets, that we keep this comic art going, because I love these comic arts.
Yeah, and you got some of it's like old school Kirby, which is like, yay. And then you've got your modern, and some of your modern guys. I like the fact that we've got, from the bonus sheet, 3 different versions of Heroic Intervention.
Which 3 really cool artworks of Heroic Intervention. We've got the Avengers debut, which is really cool.
Avengers #1 artwork.
Mm-hmm. We've got the Secret Wars.
Yeah, cover that's the Hulk holding up a mountain, which is so much fun.
I thought that one was super cool.
And then you got the one with the
Ant-Man and Wasp, and the I can't remember the name of the villain, but it was the green Jabba the Hutt looking guy.
Yeah.
But it's a really great old school art of Ant-Man and Wasp.
Right.
But my favorite one was probably the Avengers.
The number 1?
The Avengers #1 art was so cool, with the original Iron Man looking like C-3PO.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
The actual original shell head, because he's also, it's like a giant dome and it's one of those, like, wow. But I mean, the artwork for this, the chaos warp is so cool, because it's her being pulled apart like a puzzle piece, which you're like, oh. But seeing it's a Scarlet Witch, that's such a great in relations to the character, is such a great choice of what that choice. And then the snap card. Oh,
the snap card was great. The Extinction Protocol, such a great choice with the Thanos snap. Yeah. But let's talk about, obviously, your favorite guy.
Yes.
Hulk. Let's talk about that Force of Vigor card. That new Force of Vigor.
It's Alex Ross art. It's Alex Ross. Dude, one of the best artists today. Back in the 90s, he was such with Marvels, which was his book that he actually, I think, his coming out party was Marvels. That book was so amazing, because it was all brushed art, paint and brush artwork, and everything was it was so dramatically different than anything it had ever been before. And then, he went on to do other artwork, but still, he is one of my favorite artists. Like I said before, the stuff from Spider-Man, Todd McFarlane, all of his stuff. I'm waiting to see.
All of the Todd McFarlane arts were absolutely.
Oh, they're gorgeous. Killer. And then you throw in the stuff that's coming out right now which will probably be some Ditko, which will probably be a lot of Jack Kirby, and a lot of like the original guys. Whenever all is said and done,
Yeah.
the original artwork from the comic books, love it, love it, love it. I'm so happy that we're finally getting. I mean, this is coming from a comic book guy, though. I mean, some Magic people are going to be upset with it, and I sit there and laugh because I'm like going, this is some really gorgeous stuff.
This is gonna be a weird take on it. It's gonna
Yeah.
be a little bit of a hot take, but for the Magic people who are upset about it, too bad. That's what I'm gonna tell you. Too bad. This is a throwback for a lot of us that are OG Marvel comic book collectors and fans, that they're giving a nod to the ones who paved the way in these Marvel
Right.
comics, to the new
Well,
illustrators,
you can
the new
say
animators.
that the artwork from the Magic cards have been for a lot of people the same way comic book people feel about the artists. Okay, so I was lucky enough to meet Christopher Rush before, so I was able to meet Christopher Rush at Grand Prix in Albuquerque, and was in awe of the man. Now, granted, wow, okay,
Hi, Riley.
yeah, hi. But you meet artists and you meet people that you're fans of, and they draw your attention, and they pull that thing out of you that you're like, that was like, why did you enjoy this? And that's part of the artwork, and that's the reason why some people can meld the two things together. With Magic, is now that we're getting comic book artists on Magic cards, is a beautiful thing.
That's I mean, touching on not so much Magic, but I mean, one of my favorite voice actors of all time, Chris Sabat, is so captivating as a person to just meet and talk to, and just hear his stories about all the things. And he's voiced so many characters that you would not know were him throughout all of our childhoods.
Right.
And still to this day is voicing characters in some of the biggest animes in the world. He's a legendary voice actor for Dragon Ball Z, for One Piece. Like, he does so much cool work, and he's still such a humble guy. And it's really fun to see him get featured in a lot of the newer stuff, and a lot of the new One Piece cards coming out are all his kind of features, which are super cool.
Speaking of that, have you seen what the creator of One Piece gave Johnny Depp?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful card.
Gorgeous.
Or beautiful artwork, I should say, not card. But
yeah, it's a really cool rendering of Jack Sparrow.
That's just side stuff for us, but it's one of those cool parts that this guy's a big One Piece fan. I'm a One Piece fan. I've got other interests as well. But it is with Magic cards and other card games, but whatever, this Marvel set being what it is, the gross factor of gameplay with these cards is going to be interesting. You got Namor, who bumps all, as a merfolk guy. You've got Captain America, who makes protects people, right?
Captain America does shield counters, and then all your heroes are hexproof.
And then what's really the funny one to me is the Sentry that they gave. The Sentry is a 5/5 indestructible flying.
Sentry is so flying, vigilance, indestructible.
Right.
Like, just
for how much?
She's a 4-drop. A
white,
4-drop 5/5.
One white,
one white, 3
4.
and a white.
1 white and 3, and then your opponents get a 5/5 blocker, the void. And it's funny that they're both. It was hilarious in my brain because I'm like going, for standard, he's going to be one of those cards that's like, well, find a way to get rid of the token, which is kind of easy if you're playing blue, bounce it back to their hand or whatever. But as a commander player, I'm going to give this to this guy over here and then beat the rest of the field up with this indestructible flying flyer and all of the other stuff to go with it. And now I have to deal with this guy over here who's been also whacking the living crap out of everybody else with a 5/5 indestructible flyer.
Yeah, I mean, well, you're essentially creating a 5/5 goated token.
Right.
So
and
it's gross.
And then you throw in like the new Fantastic Four Commander deck, which is like, ooh, because the Fantastic Four all work together and they all have that.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion going on right now there, where a lot of people are seeing these Fantastic Four characters released in a Commander bundle.
Yeah.
And they're thinking that it's 4 different commander decks. It's one deck.
It's one deck.
All of the Fantastic Four because they have a 4-color ability on them. So they're all a 4-color commander. So you're going to see that one deck with all 4 commanders in it, which is going to be kind of cool to see the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, who do you put out front?
What I don't understand is they don't have partner.
No.
Which is weird to me.
Yeah, that's the part that's kind of like, okay. But it's also, maybe that's the way they want the deck to be played. We still don't know any of the mechanics of the deck. And there may be a thing in there that allows you to put out that commander off, go dig all 4 people out, or the commander for the deck be a Watu, which would be kind of, or the Watcher.
Yeah.
And you put him out, and then he brings all 4 pieces of the Fantastic Four out. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like an interesting little twist.
Yeah.
Then you have the Galactus.
Galactus
saga.
saga is crazy. I believe the Coming of Galactus.
Yeah.
Where, I mean, you're destroying a non-land permanent and then losing 2 life, and then you're making a 16/16 elder alien, which is just like
flying indestructible and destroys a land when it attacks or something like that.
Yep, it's got land destruction just built into it.
Oh, that's just,
which is crazy.
And then
is this gonna be a consideration for mass land destruction?
Yeah,
which it's one at a time, but
yeah.
Do you
and then you
that?
Also have that new okay, so everybody's already bitching about the Hulk card, which is a Bruce Banner card, which is on front. He's gross because you draw X cards.
Yep.
But it's XX, and you tap him, draw X cards, and that's for 1 blue mana. Then you pay 2 green, 2 red, and 2 of any color. Flip him. He's got trample. He's got
reach and trample,
and he's got enrage.
Mm-hmm.
So every time he takes a point of damage, then you untap him, and he's +1/+1. That bigger
+1/+1 counter, and you get an additional
attack.
So,
and then there's a card from old school called Caltrip. So whenever a creature attacks, it takes 1 point of damage. This is an infinite attack trigger combo.
Yeah,
so which is just disgusting.
You're getting infinite 1/1 counters, and you're getting infinite combats.
Yep.
Just from playing Hulk and Caltrips together, which is crazy.
That is so stupid and so awesome at the same time. I got people already asking me, so this is gross, and I'm like, yep, can't wait to break it. Can't wait to play it. This is gonna be a lot of fun to watch people sit there and go, I hate your guts, because this is in blue, green, and red, which is not color combinations that are like really strong in my mind, but this is going to make it even stronger. Then you got Baron Zemo. Oh my
Baron
Lord.
Zemo is, like I told you when this dropped, is probably going to be my first deck that I build out of this. It's going to be Baron Helmet Zemo, because he's just gross.
And then you got
for a 3-drop
the Dr. Doom that gives you 2 Doom bots to go with it.
Yeah,
there's everything about this setup right now is amazing. It's so good in the sense of for the first drop. A lot of these are going to be the rares. A lot of these are going to be like the big running, or like the hard to find cards.
Mm-hmm.
But if this is what's going out right now,
I mean, I have a feeling a lot of this stuff that was released is going to be like the chases.
Yeah.
But
and then you got the freebie.
I'm still anxious to see what a lot of these commons are going to look like.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, as you know, a lot of the stuff coming out of these older sets that's really gross right now are not the rares and the mythics. It's the uncommons and the commons from back in the day are really doing some work.
I mean, Quicksilver right now, thinking about how he's going to work into, let's say, standard / and then Commander, he's going to be really good. Modern, Pioneer, I think he's just going to go in a broad spectrum of decks. And it's just going to make mono red standard even worse with him, because it's like, oh, I go second. Okay, I got somebody already in the field on my before the game even starts.
Yep.
You're taking damage. I'm like, oh, good Lord, people.
He's gonna make some waves in my mono red burn deck.
And
for
then
sure.
And then you got, like I said, the Merfolk builds for the Submariner.
Yeah,
that's going to be
Merfolk build is gonna. I feel like that's gonna replace a lot of Merfolk commanders. Is Namor is definitely gonna replace.
And then you've got like the Thunderbolts card. Mm-hmm. That card is so amazing for what it does as an enchantment. So let's all your villains come back as heroes with finality counters. It's so gross. I feel like that's going to be one of those fun little aspects of the what's going on and what's going to happen next for Magic. And as much as I'm can't wait to find out what's going on with Lorwyn, this coming out now is like it's touched off that little like I just the taste of it's like, oh yeah, we got it coming.
Like we said earlier in the episode, it's very weird that we got
this early,
this much of a release for this early when I don't think this is due until like June.
No, it's the summer.
So this is supposed to be the like summer blockbuster release, and we're getting a release of it in December of 25, which is 6 months early. When Lorwyn comes out in 5 weeks, and we've barely heard a word about it.
Yeah. And with all the background on this, and granted, as a fan of Marvel, I'm hyped. I'm pumped.
Oh, I'm loving the releases. I think it's great.
I'm
still confused as to why I haven't seen a single word on Lorwyn other than teasers that aren't verified.
Right.
It's all speculation so far for Lorwyn, which I don't know if they're keeping this close to the cuff for a reason, and it's just going to be absolute craziness. But
agreed.
We don't know yet. But we are seeing with Marvel that they're definitely releasing some crazy cards. So we have a lot to look forward to for the summer.
Definitely. So aside from the Namor stuff with the Merfolk, then you come in with World War Hulk.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Hulk moly.
I thought that Galactus saga was bad. This is going to be so much worse.
Okay,
so much worse. Mark my words. It's going to be so much worse for anyone that plays green.
Well,
I hate this so much. I hate it here.
And it's green red. That's the part that's like, oh Lord, it's going to be gross because let's talk about like what CEDH players are going to do with it. Atali,
Lumra.
Oh,
Progenitus.
Anything with green in it, green or red.
If it is a green or red pip in it, it is now free.
It's free whenever you play for 5.
So
your commander could be 30 because of commander text. Boop, boom, boom.
Just absolutely insane. And nobody even looks at the other 2 parts of the saga because it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is the first chapter.
No, it's like, oh, good Lord Almighty, how this thing is going to be taken and mucked with and just nitpicked. Like, okay, let's throw this thing in standard right now.
Mm-hmm.
You got the Galta from the Caves of Ixalan, that 12/12 that you get to put any dinosaur in your hand and play for free whenever he comes into play. I get 5 mana if I have one other dinosaur in my hand. Bap. I mean, it just free card after free card after free card after free card. That's just off the top of my head gross.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking about even in not just like CEDH play, but standard play, throwing it into a dinosaur deck.
Well, like that Galta.
Pantlaza, Gishath, like all of those.
Gishath is legal. Pantlaza not for standard.
I'm talking commander.
Yeah,
I'm talking commander right now. Standard, that Galta, you're going to see some crazy stuff from that Galta.
And then this World War Hulk is going to be one of those cards. You read the rest of it for me, just so I know.
Yeah,
because I think one of the.
So obviously, we're talking about Chapter 1, where the next red or green creature spell you cast this turn can be cast without paying its mana cost.
What?
So you're still getting cast triggers.
Yes.
From things like the Door of Destinies, from all of your Anthem spells, all your Anthem artifacts are all still triggering.
And your
now
coming to play abilities.
Chapter 2 is put 3 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control, which is gross for a lot of green creatures.
It's green,
right?
It's
and then Chapter 3 is choose target creature you control until end of turn, double its power and toughness, and it gains trample.
Here we're gonna make it even worse.
So that's crazy.
Yeah, because you've already dropped. Let's say for standard, I dropped the Galta, the 12/12, on with the top ability. So next turn I get to swing and add 3 counters to it, and it give an extra trample counter to it. And on the third thing, now it's 20. Let's see, 12, 13, 14. Now it's 28, 28. and trample, which is not a thing, but still. Ugh.
I mean, it's lethal.
Yeah, well, it's lethal almost the next turn. You're
Lethal. But I mean, and in
turn
standard, I mean, a 12-12 is a massive issue in standard.
On turn 5. That's going to be the part that's just going to be like, wow, you cannot handle a 12-12 on turn 5.
No.
And if you've got some kind of removal, you're going to be like, where is it? Because you've already used it on turn 1, 2, 3, or 4 on some of the other stuff they've already cast.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's not just necessarily turn 5 because we see a lot of ramping in green.
Yeah.
So you can easily get this out turn 3. I mean, with the right ramp package.
It's going to be disgusting whenever all is said and done with that little combo. It's going to be like, let's browbeat the living hell out of everybody.
Yeah.
Because it's going to change up what standard red-green or standard red is going to be for quite some time. I'm like going, man, this is just, I think it's going to be more broken and broken and broken the longer this is thrown out there. And I don't know what's going to be next for this release. If they're going to start releasing stuff for this more and more and more, I don't know. That's the other side. If they start releasing more of these cards, it's going to make it to where, and here's the part that's going to be bad, is by the time the set comes out, we're going to be like, because all of the mystery and
mystery's been ruined already. Which
it reminds me of Men in Black 1. When Men in Black 1 was coming out, if you watched all of the commercials for it, the trailers, you had the entire movie was spoiled except for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It was all aired on TV, which kind of ruined it for a lot of people, me included, because I knew exactly what was going to happen from the beginning to the end. And it just kind of upsets you that all of that's ruined. And now they've put this out, and I'm like going, man, I want more content, but I don't want it all right now.
Exactly.
And so, I mean, it's like the twists and the turns. Hopefully they won't do another drop of this for a while, but I'm happy they did this in the sense it gives you a sense of a taste of what's coming, and you're like, okay, awesome, let's just keep this rolling in the sense of what's going on.
Yeah. I think I'm really hoping the next set of leaks and releases that we get are for Lorwyn.
Yes.
Because that's the next set coming out.
Very
so I
much
would really
so.
like to see Lorwyn, some info coming out for that. But other than that, I think with this particular set of releases, we're definitely going to see a lot of new deck techs coming out, a lot of new videos on new builds, on how we're going to utilize these specific cards. But also, a lot of this is still up in the air.
6 months away.
It's 6 months away. So we may see 2-3 more releases like this if they're going to release everything in the set before it comes out.
Right. And I'm like, man, this is the shocker to me is this is 6 months away still. Am I excited now? Yes. Before I was kind of like, because of the debacle of Spider-Man, I wasn't looking forward to this. Now I'm actually really looking forward to this in the sense of it's a nostalgic thing for me at this point. But it's going to be more fun as time progresses, hopefully. But it's, it's that nice little balance of whatever you want to do from point A to point B, and hopefully it works. I really think that this is, like you say, it's a smart marketing move, giving out just enough of a taste where everybody's happy, and then they'll move on. And then next will be Lorwyn, and then...
I mean, I feel like we're going to see another tease of this February, March timeframe. I think right around Strixhaven, we'll probably see another preview of more Marvel to come.
That sounds
That's kind of
right.
My thought is right around March-ish, April, maybe February to April kind of time frame. We're going to see another teaser of this Marvel stuff.
It'll be fun. I mean, and as long as they're doing this like this, I'm like going, okay. But as long as it's happening, I'm happy. I'm not upset. Right now, I'm pleasantly excited about what's coming out with Marvel. With the stuff with the Commander side of it, I see strings and see lanes and avenues of things. With standard, I really see some ugliness.
For sure.
Um,
I feel like it's definitely going to impact standard more than commander,
yeah.
especially with what's released right now.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we're probably definitely going to see a change in that come when the entire set is released.
Right.
But as of right now, a lot of these cards are going to shake up standard when they release like crazy.
Yeah. I think if they're going to continue on with the same thing that they did with the Spider-Man, where these double-sided cards can be cast for one or the other, I think that Bruce Banner Hulk card is going to be one of those that everybody's going to be like, let's cast Bruce out there a couple times.
We're gonna see a quick ban of that one like we did Vivi. Watch. It's gonna get ban hammered so fast. Just
I
like
doubt
Vivi
that
did.
one. I doubt, because Vivi just works off of. Vivi was like card combo hell. You know what I mean?
This is card combo hell.
No, it's just 2 cards.
It's hell.
But hell for the person who's looking on the
2
other
cards
side of
is
it.
a combo, and it's hell.
Okay, but it's going to be one of those. It's like, well, it's not as bad as some of the other card combos that are out there, man. Let's be honest.
But let's also be honest. Vivi wasn't the problem when they banned that. They needed to ban the Soul Cauldron, not
yes, I agree.
the damn Vivi card.
Yeah.
Vivi didn't do crap in that thing without the Soul Cauldron. But that's another story for another day.
Yep.
Because once again, Wizards dropped the ball on what they needed to ban.
Agreed.
Which is what our argument with the game changer list, our argument with the ban list. There are so many cards on that don't need to be on there.
There's some that do and some that don't, and that's a good one for another time, because that's just that'll be a hole that we'll dig and keep digging for a while.
That's a hill I'm going to die on.
But they're also, I mean, they're supposed to be unbanning some more commander stuff here pretty soon.
Yeah,
I think February, but I could be wrong. I mean, I'm thinking they're going to do the next commander, or they're going to wait another year. I don't know. I haven't heard which one is going to be which.
I mean, as long as they don't unban Emrakul or Ghost or anything like that. Nadu, just all the fun ones. All the super fun stuff from Commander.
Oh, yes.
We used to love to play against.
Yeah, Leovold.
Leovold. With the freaking, what is the otter?
Oh, yeah.
That thing. Oh, my God.
Leovold and the otter. The one that's the gross part
Lutri.
Oh, yeah, Lutri.
Lutri, that damn otter, man. I hated
and then
that thing.
the part that is funny is Leovold with combos with Teferi's Puzzle Box to win.
Yeah.
Which is always
so dumb.
One of my favorite cards for Commander. Everybody's like, why do you like that card so much? Because I get to see all of my deck.
Yep. This is when you immediately play a Praetor's Grasp and
Yes.
go get the Puzzle Box.
Get rid of that thing. Puzzle Box is so good.
Puzzle Boxes, it's a slept-on card. A
Yes.
lot of people do not play Puzzle Box.
Well, because it's kind of hard to. Whenever you're playing for a competitive win, it's a card that helps your opponents more than it really helps you at a time.
Yeah.
Unless you're playing somebody that's sculpted their hand to like be the ideal win to that next turn.
Which you see that a lot in CDH is guys mulligan to forward and just get the absolute nuts and drop a hammer on you turn 2, and that's it.
And then you make them shuffle it all back into their library, and they're all like,
E.g., your brother.
Yeah.
He likes to do that a lot to us quite a bit in our CDH games, is just mold his hand down to perfection and then win, which that's the whole motive in CDH is to win as fast as possible.
Win as fast as possible without anybody interrupting your combos, so it doesn't work. But this Marvel stuff is going to be interesting to see what comes and what shifts, and the sideways, the blunt, the head of a spear, all the stuff that goes with it is going to be fun.
I'm really shocked we did get another Captain America.
I think the reason we got this Captain America is not as good as the other one.
No.
So
I really think
this is
OG
more.
Cap was a better.
I think this is more of an option. This is more of like whenever Captain America first rejoined the Avengers kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where the one that we got in the Secret Lair is like, this is the one who's been saving the planet since before and before and before.
Mm-hmm.
This is like after Civil War Captain America, or prior to Civil War Captain America, depending on how you look at which Steve Rogers in the comic book kind of thing.
Yeah.
This one's so good. The other one's so good that this one, it's as good as it is. The other one's a lot better.
I think it's going to do well in hero tribal decks
Oh,
where you're giving everything hexproof, and that's great. It still doesn't save you from board wipes and things like that. It's not as great as it's made out to be on paper, but
I agree. But board wipes are being what people play whenever they're like staring down the barrel of that gun. And
don't get me started on board wipes.
And
as much as Chad loves blue, I love board wipes because I just don't believe in them. I don't play them in very many of my decks. I think I have one in one deck and one in another deck, and that's it. I just don't play heavy on the board wiping. I don't believe it's a effective strategy.
I think I have the most board wipes I have in a deck is 3, and I very, very rarely play them because they affects me more in those decks than it does in the others. So it's kind of funny that I have them in the decks, but the funny part is I very rarely play them.
Yeah, well,
because I always have,
like you said, they're when you're staring down the barrel of a gun, and it's kind of the last resort is get rid of everything and start fresh.
I kind of run on a. If I'm out maneuvered on board, then I'll board wipe. But a lot of times I'm the one with the board present, so I'm like, well, I'm the problem. You have to deal with me.
Yeah,
that's why I love. There's certain cards that I love to play against people that do mass board wipes that just kind of wreck their own little world.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
There's a great little uncommon card from Rise of Eldrazi that states that you can. He's like a 1 green and 1, and he's a Tajuro Protector, I think is what he's called, or something like that. And it states that you're not allowed to sacrifice any card. So anything that has Annihilator makes you sacrifice. So anything that, like all that kind of stuff, that's removed from the game.
Yep.
And then you got the indestructible stuff that removes that takes care of that board wipe. And then you got the only ones that kind of like mess with you so much is the exile. Those ones are like, ugh. But you got phase out my stuff.
You've got options in there.
Oh,
there is an answer to everything. It's just, do you have it in your hand when you need it?
Yeah.
And do you have the mana to cast it?
True.
That's the biggest thing is mana problems. Hence the name of the show, man. Mana problems. But going out of this Marvel set, let's talk about kind of what we touched on briefly in the first episode, which was Magic in the Olympics.
Yes.
Something really cool that you and I have kind of been talking about for the better part of 2 years now.
Yep.
And let's kind of revisit what we did talk about in the beginning, which was something very viable, which can be done in an Olympic setting.
Yes.
Would be not just Magic the Gathering, but trading card games in general.
Yeah.
But you would definitely see it out of Magic the Gathering and probably Pokemon if it was the second one. But Magic has the biggest following of competitive players.
Right.
Which would be why I believe if any set was going to be viable, it would be Magic the Gathering.
So in your tournament setup for all of Magic, you've got a lot of it's 1v1. And to speed up the process to make it work better for everybody, you start the tournament with standard, play 3 rounds, and after anybody has lost 3 rounds, they're removed from the tournament. This speeds it up, breaks down, and removes a lot of what would be considered tournament chaff from the board, which you shrink your player base every time. But it allows them to go play in other events, as in qualify for other groups.
Mm-hmm.
So after three losses, you break everybody that has 3 losses. You're out, and you break it down from there on until you get to, let's say, your top 8, and the people that stay in are like the regular Olympics, first, second, third. They are part of the Olympic group from that area. At the original thought process, I was breaking it down by states. So for the state of New Mexico, which we are in, it would be the 3 people that would play in standard would be those 3 people, modern, pioneer. All of them have to be from the state that they live in. That way it's kind of like you can't go and play at this this event in this state, this event in this state, this event in this state, and to make sure that you get into the Olympics. I want to give everybody a chance. You're given at least 4 chances to make an Olympic team. Okay, for the state level. Then you advance it to the next level and the next. A regional, and then we go to...
Which I think we talked about 4 regions.
Yeah.
Each state would compile a team of X amount of players.
3 for standard, 3 for pioneer, 3 for modern, and 3 teams for commander.
So now, 12 total.
Well, you got
commander players, or
12. 3 teams of 4 for commander. Now here's the breakdown for commander. You've got 4 people. Everybody plays on a 4-man pods. First place gets 4 points. Second gets 3 points. Third gets 2. Fourth gets 1. If one person wins, everybody loses all at once. Person who wins is 4 points. Everybody else got last place. They all get 1 point. If one of your teammates shows up on your table with you, then you've got your choices of who wants to play Kingmaker or knocking somebody else out, getting your points up. The idea of this is a team event. If the other 2 people on the team are on the table, they notice that you're part of a team, and then politics comes in, and you try to knock them out before they knock you out. Be intelligent, be smart. Play this as you would a relay race, where you're trying to accrue as many points as possible for a commander setup. Top 3 teams, gold, silver, bronze, they're the ones that advance for the state. Then you move it over to the next level, which would be regional. And then from regional, everybody that won their regionals goes to, I think, either my choice would be Colorado Springs, because that's where the Olympic Training Center is. But
Kansas City
or Indianapolis, which you could choose Gen Con. Would be a great one to choose.
Gen Con would be a great thing to bring this into.
And then from that, you have a team of 3 players to play standard, 3 players to play pioneer, 3 players to play modern. You got 12 players who are still on their own separate teams to play commander. The teams will be set for the commander stuff will be set in stone. And to prevent problems that happen in commander and some other playing styles, going to time, there's not going to be, the time limit's going to be set, but there will be a timer on the table, just like there is chess. In chess, you have a timer, and you have to tap the timer for everybody to go to the next turn. I think they're given about 3 minutes per move or 3 minutes per turn. If you take longer than 3 minutes, this is going to be across the board in all formats. You have to go to time. If you lose or if you go to time, your turn ends no matter what. Commander players, they're used to sitting there and mulling their turnover and mulling their turnover and mulling their turnover and mulling their... It happens in Arena. They've got that rope that comes across the screen. Same thing.
Well, and it's going to create more viewability if nobody wants to sit there and watch somebody look at their hand for 15 minutes on TV.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that. And
this also forces that
90-minute, time limit or 80 minutes is how we do it. That gives each player a 20-minute clock.
Yeah.
And once your 20-minute clock is out, if the game is not over, you lose the game. Yeah. You're out. You're out for time. I mean,
but in a standard tournaments, it's like 45 minutes.
Yeah. Well, that's commander.
The commander's 90 minutes or 80 minutes. And every player's got like 3 minutes to take their turn. Mm-hmm. And if you go to your 3 minutes and don't do anything for 3 minutes and just sit there with your thumb up your butt, then you lost your turn, and the other people in the pod are going to go, let's remove him so we can get this game on faster.
Well, I feel like my kind of argument with timing is the way that we do it with a lot of other games is we take the total time and divide it by the amount of players.
Yeah.
Each player has the exact amount of time to make their interaction for the entire game. So your clock is not running when someone else's. So if I want to stop my clock with 2 seconds and then you want to take 20 minutes for your whole clock, it doesn't affect me at all because now it doesn't affect my clock.
Well, I mean, the reason I wanted to go around faster, and granted, CEDH, because if we're going to be playing on that kind of level, it's going to be CEDH.
Oh, absolutely. It's going
to be fast and like raucous, and it's going to be one of those ugly kind of setups where everybody's going to go play, and try to get as many spells on a turn. And the person whose turn it is going to be the one with the disadvantage because his clock is ticking while everybody else is interacting with his stuff.
Yeah.
Now, if we do a kind of like, I play Atali, okay? Priority goes around the table. So I turn my clock on, he turns his clock on, off. He turns his clock on, off. This guy counters my Atali. I play this in response. Around the table again, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on. We can do that. It's just that becomes convoluted, and it can happen that way.
Becomes convoluted,
and it would be detrimental to be playing like that, but it would be the fairest way to play it. And at this point in this world, if we did the Olympics and we played it like that, it would be chaotic, but it would also mean everybody would get an opportunity to play what they needed to in response to what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Where this player goes, all right, well, I don't want to play. I'll let the Atali trigger go off, and then I will mind break trap all of it. Just counter. Just stop the stack, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody goes, okay, and then you do another spell and do this and that. You reactions and all this other stuff that happens in CEDH. Now, granted, most C games, unless somebody's being a complete utter douchebag, only lasts about 30, maybe 40 minutes max.
If that. But so what you're saying is then almost institute a shot clock on someone. So if it's after a minute, they get a 30-second countdown, and after that,
if they're going,
pass.
Like for instance, you're going for that one of those kind of overly convoluted combo turns.
Yep.
That once you get the thing, somebody's going, if somebody wants to be a douche and make you do it in front of them, even if the judge is not there,
if it goes to time, then that's
and if the judge is not there to sit there and go, okay, here's what's going to happen. The judge can break it down faster than anybody else aside from players. And sometimes the players can go, well, I do this, to do this, to this, to this, to this, and A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. And the judge goes, A, J, he wins unless you've got this one spell. And the person that would be the opponent that called the judge can go, okay, he wins. And if you do that route with Commander and with CDH, it makes it a lot faster. And also in this kind of setup, you're going to have somebody. And the one thing that's going to be harsh is the language barrier for some of this. But the cool part is with the Olympics, the language barrier is going to be French, or it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, that's the language that everybody's supposed to be able to speak when dealing with, that's the one that everybody's supposed to be able to say, okay, language barrier is, I'm from America, I speak English. This guy's from Holland, he only speaks German or Dutch or whatever. This guy from Germany he speaks German and a little bit of French, but the guy from that speaks Dutch can speak French. The guy from Russia, they all come together on this one. And maybe I don't know French, but then again, somebody can translate from one to the other and to the other. Once it all comes down to it, the artwork is going to be what's going to be important, and the cards are going to be what's going to be important. Once you break that down, and once you get all of the little nuances of playing a commander deck in a foreign language from other people, it's always going to be, hey, this is all about camaraderie, having fun, and supporting our country.
Mm-hmm.
Which I feel like there's so many people that play Magic that are athletes who would get behind this, who would enjoy this, and it'd be something that, okay, you were an Olympic athlete in the 2000s or maybe the late 90s. Okay, you've stop being that competitive athlete. You're still in good shape, but you can't do it anymore. Your knees are shot, your back is gone, all the little things that happen, right? That. This gives you a chance to go, hey, I can go back and be proud of my country again with something else that I never thought I'd be able to do. I mean, granted, chess is so one of those kind of competitive events that your mind goes and, you know, you're looking 16, 17, 18 turns before you even sit down.
Mm-hmm.
Magic can also be the same way, but it's limited in a sense of it's only 7 cards you're allowed with at the beginning.
Yeah.
And you can go and build a standard deck, modern deck, commander deck. And if you shock the world and you come out ahead, it would be something else that would just be so much fun to go and play with other people from other countries, supporting their countries. I mean, we've got, like I said before, Magic has been printed in every country, at least every country that has reading, writing. The only problem, I think the only place that doesn't exist is Africa because of the so many languages that are in Africa. But most of Africa speaks French, so you can get away with a lot of it. This game has gone from North America, which is where it started, to Europe, to Asia, to South America, to the Philippines, to Australia, around the world. I think the only continent it's not played on is Antarctica, but I do believe it probably is played there because they bored there.
I'm pretty sure some of those scientists have Magic cards with them.
But when it rolls down, this is something that can be played on multiple levels and where people can get together and go, hey, I played in Olympic trials. I was able to go and play an Olympic trial event.
Well, and like you said, it gives a lot of people who would never be able to represent their country in the Olympics an ability to.
And I think it'd be and if Wizards got behind it and the stuff that they could give away as, let's say, prizes at each level could be insane. Could be randomly, let's say, a set of duels, or not so much Power 9, but some of the, let's say, some of the stuff that's on the do not print again list. This would be because they've done it before, where at Worlds for 5 years they gave out a MOX, a specific artwork that only one ever came out of that one kind, that would be for these winners.
Which at this level would be, I think, bigger than Worlds, honestly.
Oh, I think so too.
And that would constitute something big.
Well, and you
reprinting a Gaia's Cradle.
Oh yeah.
Or reprinting a Grim Monolith, or
reprinting the stuff that's on the do not
print list.
Yeah, the reserve, whatever you want to call it, list. That would be amazing. Okay, let's Tabernacle Pendra Vale.
Tabernacle would be great.
Would be one of those cards that just kind of like, oh my God, Mishra's Workshop.
$2,800 card right now.
A new artwork for Mishra's Workshop. A new artwork for Candelabra of Tanos.
Candelabra would be great.
Stuff like that would be kind of cool. They would only have to print. Let's say if for the regional winners, you'd have to print one for each modern, standard, pioneer, and the commander guys. So that's 3, 6, 9, and then another 12.
So 21.
You can print 21 of that card, and they're the only ones that are going to get them. Come on, that's barely a print run worth a damn.
Yeah, it's a couple sheets,
and that's per region.
Yep.
And then you shrink it down to the state
level.
So
you're talking less than 100 cards.
And then you shrink it down to the state level. All right. So if you got first place at the state level on the standard, we'll give you 5 of the dual lands. And everybody on that bracket who placed, I guess is the best way to describe it, they get.
Or I mean, a set of Guru lands.
A set of Gurus.
Awesome.
Well, those are kind of the only problem with those is they were printed so far back that it would be just a reprint of the artwork.
Make a different set, not the Guru lands, but you would make an Olympian set, or something that had cool artwork on the 5 basic lands that only you got if you qualified.
And then, or even 5 basic lands that have artwork from different Olympic stadiums / Olympic events.
Well,
So
I mean,
like the original Olympics from Greece or in Athens or
yeah, the old school Olympic art
oh yeah
kind of.
the stuff off the anthers and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. It all looks like it's chiseled in
Yeah,
stone and painted on porcelain.
you
and
could get away with those. You could get away with some other really just beautiful artwork to get away with and stuff like that to give as prizes that okay, you put some new artwork out of these cards. Okay, you've already put out judge promos or judge promos for some of this artwork anyway. You might as well just go ahead and just print up some of the stuff and say, okay, this is specifically for the Olympic trials.
Yeah.
And this is worldwide. And you break it down, you've got judges all over the planet already. Now, granted, the bulk of them I think are in the United States, but you have judges in Europe. You have judges in Asia.
We have judges in every country that hosts major tournaments because we have to per the rules.
So with that,
it wouldn't be difficult to compile a judges panel
right,
of one judge from every country represented that can then get the rules translated, do all of this for their country.
Right.
They have, obviously, we have pre-submitted deck lists because this is a tournament of such a high caliber.
High REO.
So it's very easy for a council to go in, translate every card for each other language so you can see, okay, these are the cards that are being played. This is what they've got. So you can get an idea of what's coming.
And then you also have all of those people that would be it would be just a boon for them to go, I represented my country. I mean, okay, a lot of this came down from I was watching Cool Runnings, and that's where this came from. Where you got guys who were in the Olympics from a country that they don't really get to go to those Olympics.
Yeah.
And then you can the pride from that, because that's where kind of this idea was, where the Jamaicans put a bobsled team where they don't, for them to see a snowflake on that entire island is an improbability of a biblical proportion. The fact that a snowflake being there would be also like something drastically happened for ice to form on that island.
Yeah.
So for them to go and do that at that event was insane. And they've since been accepted every year since. For this to happen, and you get some Joe Schmo, and I'm going to be a bit nice about the statement of some kid off the street who builds a deck in standard. And
let's just be real here. Mm-hmm. Most professional Magic the Gathering players are not household names.
No.
Not a lot of people know who Brian Kibler is.
Some do, but not a lot.
Unless you play this game.
Right.
I mean, or unless you're into trading, you don't really know who Kibler is.
Yes.
Like, he's the current champion, I believe.
No, he's this guy from Japan who's
the current. He's the last U.S. champion.
Yeah.
That was. But
the head writer for Tulare Community College won a major modern event. She won a major modern event. She's the head writer for them.
Oh, okay.
And she won the event to get her to be Pro Tour qualified. I forget. It was one of those grinders that she went to that she ended up winning. It was the last time that breach was legal.
Oh, yeah.
Hence the reason why she went was she was like expecting it to be banned, and she was ahead of the ban hammer, and that's kind of why she went there, is so that she could make another run for Worlds or for the Pro Tour or whatever. And she ended up losing it out in the Pro Tour, but I don't know who won. The last guy who won the Pro Tour was it was a standard player from Japan, and he was playing mono red against a VV deck.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't follow standard enough to really.
But that's the guy who last won the last Pro Tour.
Once again,
yeah, I think they're doing right now. Pro Tour is going on right now.
Worlds is currently going on. Yeah, it's being aired on Twitch on the Magic channel. So if you guys want to see it, you can pop over to the Magic the Gathering
at
Twitch
this moment
channel.
In time. I'm gonna say it because we don't know when this is coming out yet. But at this moment in time, this is what's gonna, what's going on. But if you as an individual, like some guy in this local town builds this standard deck that just shines forever and is left field complete, and he goes in and plays it, goes and wins the state, wins the regional, and then makes it all the way to the Olympic, the Olympic compound or whatever you want to call it.
To piggyback on that, we have seen that. We
Yes.
not obviously not going to an Olympic level. But we've
Right.
seen some guys come into our local LGSs, some ones up in Lubbock, Texas, and Midland, Texas, that have just come in with stuff completely out of left field.
Oh yeah.
That is just absolutely pub stomped everyone, and you would not expect it. Looking at the deck list, looking at the person playing it, but it just absolutely performs in every way, and that's why I love this game so much.
Oh yeah.
Anybody can win.
Right.
If you draw the right cards at the right time, and you've got the right mana, and you know what you're doing, and you know your triggers, and you know how to stack your triggers.
Yes.
Any player can win. Anybody can beat the best player. I mean, I personally don't think I'm a very good Magic the Gathering player. I have my moments where I have some crazy high IQ plays, but most of the time I just derp out and kind of just let it happen.
Right.
But I have beaten players that are crazy good.
Yes.
On a fluke, because I've just drawn the right cards and I've played and they just sucked out. And it happens.
Bad draws, bad pulls.
They kept the wrong hand when they shouldn't have. They were trying something they shouldn't have tried. And it happens. But that's the beauty of this game, is literally anybody can sit down at a table with 100 cards or 60 cards or 50 cards, and they could win a game.
Yeah.
And
not quite 50, but unless you really want to go with a crazy game. The crazy game is that one's though.
I've seen it done.
Yeah, I know.
I've seen it done. If you have the perfect 50, it can happen.
Yeah.
But most people are running a standard 60, 65, whatever. But Commander especially, if you sit down with the right 100 cards and it just comes out right, then hey, you're...
And you play, if you have all the right things and nobody has the count, like I'm playing a Tali deck right now. I've got an Atali deck built right now. And if nobody has the interaction against me at that moment in time, I'm going to be winning. But a lot of times right now, everybody's built for, it's one of the more popular decks being played. People are putting in reaction or interaction for Atali decks. So it's fine.
It's becoming something we're seeing rapidly, like building in interaction, because I think a month ago when it really kind of started hitting the field quite a bit, and we were really seeing that spike on Atali, was now we're definitely seeing a spike in interaction
against it,
because we've all discovered that it's a major problem and it needs to be dealt with
immediately.
Yeah, and I mean, Atali players, you can't get mad when you get targeted, because we all know what it does now, and it's kind of one of those things that's the unfortunate thing about CEDH, is it comes out for a couple weeks and then everybody sees what it does, and then they build workarounds.
Right.
And that just, it happens. So that's kind of where we're at with that.
Right. So I'm enjoying, I want to see if this is viable. I want to enjoy what's going on. And I think this is a possibility of being a positive for the game, a positive for the company, and a positive for the players.
And we want your guys' input on it too. We want to hear in the comments what you guys think. Because obviously us talking about it, we think it's viable, but you guys may see stuff in your states or in your LGSs that are different. But what we see here is a definite competitive edge where people can really build something that would do work.
So,
and in our state, we have a few cities that have very large representation for LGSs, and then we have a lot of very, very small, isolated towns that don't have a large community of players, but they also don't have the visibility of other bigger cities where you're seeing, 40 people coming to pre-release events and 100 people coming to pre-release events in Albuquerque and Santa Fe and all these bigger college towns where there are LGSs.
So,
I feel like
I said, New Mexico being what it is, we'd all take the entire state of New Mexico, would go to Albuquerque, all players,
or
and
Santa
play
Fe.
it. Albuquerque's closer for as centralized. If you really want to go centralized, you want to go to Las Cruces, but whatever. It's going to be Albuquerque.
No, I mean, no offense to Las Cruces, but I don't think they have LGS that would be willing to
Host.
host.
It's going to be in an event center.
Albuquerque would be.
Oh yeah.
Well, there would be a store that would partner with it to run the logistics through the event center.
Right.
But it's definitely something that would be doable in Albuquerque, in Santa Fe, and in a bigger city, even in Roswell, Carlsbad. I mean, there's big event centers there that it could be done.
There's one here too, but that's
nobody wants to come to our town.
Well, we are in we're in the southeast corner of the state, and this is one of the biggest states in the union. That it's so broad and so this is one of the biggest states in the United States right now. It's like the fourth biggest, and we have the least population in the entire union for what we have land-wise. This is the least populated state in the entire country. So for us to sit there and go, we can all, because it's a 6-hour drive from where we are to Albuquerque, where other people would go, good Lord, driving 6 hours to do anything is insane.
Well, I feel like, just to comment on that, us driving 6 hours is just an afternoon.
Yes.
If we're going to do stuff because we usually make a weekend of it, or we make a day, an overnight of it.
Yes.
But this would obviously not be a show up for a day and do things.
This would be
a week-long event,
hopefully.
a 10-day-long event where you have pre-qualifiers and practice games, and then you get into the nitty-gritty. And I mean, we would love to tie it around a convention if it was a Comic-Con or something like that, to tie all of these into, to not only help the Magic community, but to help the gaming community in general, the comic community, the collectible community, all of those. I would love to tie this into a con around that time to make those qualifiers just an even better event.
And then, but you've also got like Montana, those places that have very small population, or the cities are so far between each other.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to have a centralized location. You're gonna go there. You're gonna play the thing out for the weekend, and you're gonna have fun.
Mm-hmm.
If worst comes to worst, you played in a Olympic qualifier. If that's the only thing that you did was played in the Olympic qualifier for standard, for modern, for pioneer, for commander, if that's all you did, that's a step in advance that nobody can see coming.
Yeah.
I tried out for the Olympics in something that people don't understand, that for people that are overweight,
not considered an athlete by any means standard of athletics.
Okay, myself, my knees are bad. I can't walk well, so I'm in a wheelchair. I can stand, but I can't stand for long. I can move around, but I'm like, give me something to sit down in. But if you'd let me sit down at a table and play Magic all day, I'm a happy camper, because I just got to play and play and play.
Yeah, I mean, I'm an old veteran who's out of shape and fat, and I'm never going to be back into fighting shape again. So this is something that
given those people that opportunity to try and be an Olympic sports person or an Olympic athlete, even the chess guys are called Olympic athletes. And the other thing that would happen with this one, we could sit there and say we are completely integrated, where women and men are on the same level. There's no breakup. And what I mean by that is, okay, I may be a jerk for saying this, but men are genetically stronger than women, no matter which way you cut it, from any level, any levels. Now, granted, some women can kick my butt. Oh, hell yes. I'm not saying they can't, but on a generic level, male athletes, stronger, tougher, bigger, muscular, blah blah blah.
Higher performance in a generic state, but
there
are exceptions, no matter what. And that's.
But in this way, there's an even playing field. The only muscle that really matters is your brain.
Yeah, and that's why I love this game so much. Is there is no more even of a playing field than chess.
Yeah.
Trading card games, board games, things like that, where it's a pretty even playing field. The only thing that matters is your critical thinking.
Yeah, and your ability to get lucky. Because, I mean, this game is kind of luck in certain areas. You choose your top 8 or your top 7, and if you don't like those 7, you mulligan, and you mulligan, You mulligan. If you go all the way down to no cards, then you
start hellbent, and that
pray
really
in the
sucks.
Lord that it works.
That really sucks. But
at one point, you're not to two
I don't
cards.
think
You're
I've
like,
ever actually. Have you ever seen someone go down all the way to 0? I think the most I've seen is 4.
yeah.
I've seen four many times. I've seen people.
I've never
than 4.
though. I think the lowest I would go if I had to would be 2, just because turn 1 you got to land.
Depending on the deck I'm playing.
Well,
2.
and also depending on if I'm going first or second. And this
I'm
is
playing,
a one-on-one.
If I'm playing mono red, I could go down to 2. If I'm playing Rakdos and CEDH or standard, or I couldn't see myself going any less than 4.
Right. But if you're in standard in the 60 card formats, the lowest I would go is 2. In Commander, the lowest I would ever go is down to 4. And even then, if it's like that,
that's a gamble.
I'm going to be stuck at 4, and I'm going to be sitting there drawing cards, waiting for a land, because that's all you're missing is land. Even if you've got 4 land, you'd be like,
well,
okay.
There are some of those hands where it freaking hurts you to get rid of it. But you got
man.
1 land and nothing but gas, and you're just like, it won't go anywhere, and I have to mulligan this.
Yeah,
it pains me.
And whenever you break all this down, we're playing Magic at a big event that's going to be bigger because of what it means. And if that happens, I think we'll be all right. And I think this setup, even though there may be holes that people see, and I'm waiting for the people to go, well, you can't do that because I'm like, okay, fine. How do we fix it? What's your solution to?
That's what I want to hear in the comments. I don't want to hear it's not viable. I want to hear it's not viable. Why? That's what I want to hear, the why. Because I don't see it not being viable. I see it being completely viable.
I think I pulled apart all the problems. Now, the tournament play will be the ones that's going to get in trouble. I think if we get it all the way to the Olympics, or this statement, an Olympic committee setup, I think it's extremely viable, and I think it would be extremely fun, and it would be neat to see how many people would be involved. And granted, there's still going to be people that are called in to be coaches. So let's say some of the big pro players get knocked out on the first round of where they're playing the state they're at. Okay, great. Do you want to be a coach, which gets you the same kind of probabilities and the same kind of popularity and the same kind of whatever you want to call it that being a player does. The coaches have just as much followers, just as much clout, just as much all the other stuff that goes along with it. Now, granted, would I deny some people play? No. The one people that I would like to see, which would be funny, is I'd like to see Gavin in the running to be a player in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I would love to see the professor. I'd love to see Kibble. I'd love to see
Voxy, like all of
all of the people off of
the fun people that are already really great social media personalities, right, on top of great Magic the Gathering players.
I'd like to see some people that only know them because of this thing and this thing and this thing, like some of the NFL guys.
Mm-hmm.
They come out and play. But I mean, and
Post
I want to
Malone. I'd love to see Post Malone come and try to represent.
And then, but you also got, what I'm saying is if you live in the state of California, there's only going to be 3 players from each of those, and the Commander players are going to be tight as all get out because all your YouTubers are from California. Your big ones, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you've got the California group, which is going to be super tight, super good, super like, wow, I didn't ever see this coming. This is amazing. This is cool. I don't think, and then you move off to other states and move off to other places. Then you go to the East Coast. You got the other group of people that live on the East Coast.
Yep.
They're very strong, very powerful. They have smaller states, so they can all be in one location to play.
And practice, to do all of those kind of things too.
Set up for your team, set up all the other stuff. And you could do this, and half of the joke would be if you could do it all in one weekend, but I don't think it's possible because it would be insane. Because I don't think there's enough judges. But that's the other side of that scenario. Is I don't think it's going to be possible to do it all in one weekend, as in the state level. Don't get me wrong, I'm just talking state level. But it would be insane. And then you also stream it through Twitch, you stream it through YouTube, you stream it through all of your streaming
all of your major platforms.
platforms.
Obviously, you would pick this up, but it would also be fun to see it televised on
ESPN.
ESPN 8, the Ocho. But no, it would be great to see stuff like this start to be more televised.
And I think
I missed G4. That was like the best channel for this, but
I
unfortunately,
think that would be one of the things that would happen on the level of, because it would be an Olympic event, and that makes it a thing. And what I mean by that is it makes the event. So I don't know.
But all of these regional qualifiers, these state qualifiers, it boils down to the community.
And
it's
what it really boils down to is if the Olympic Committee would let us do it, Hasbro supports it. And I think the other part of that, if Hasbro supports it, that's a guaranteed money thing for them. Where everybody's like, it doesn't have to be about the money. Oh, no, it's about the money. Because if the Olympics didn't make money, then nobody would air it, nobody would go, and nobody would compete. When they first came out, it was all about the competition. It was all about all that kind of stuff. Now it's all about media buys. It's all about, hey Riley, it's all about the money that is going to be built up and gathered together to showcase what's going on.
What do you think?
Huh? What do you think, bud? Yep, that's right.
Good input.
This is our other intern. This is Riley. Hey, big guy. What's going on? But I want to find out what other people think and their reactions. So please give us some feedback on this one.
Definitely. We want everyone's feedback because we want to build more on this and kind of get it set up as a plan to present eventually in this coming year. What's up, Bubba?
Outside.
We need to take a quick commercial break? Okay.
So with the ads and all of the money that's involved, I think Hasbro, Wizards, depending on which one you want to call it, would see the benefits of this. And I think it would be positive on all accounts.
I think anything, when you put the word Olympics into it, right? It's like when you're planning a wedding. Like everything instantly shoots up in price because it's Olympics. It's like going to rent a tent, right? If you call a place and you're like, hey, I need to rent a 10 by 12 tent. And they're like, it's going to be $100. And then you call the same place and you say, hey, I need to rent a 10 by 12 tent for a wedding. It's $350 because it's for a wedding. So anytime you throw Olympics onto something, you're going to see a spike in revenue for merchandise and this and this and this and ad revenue and commercial space and marketing space and what companies are going to be put on a U.S. Olympic banner for Magic the Gathering and what are going to be put on, Team Japan and Team Brazil and Team X and Team Y and Team Z, right? You have so much opportunity now opened up to companies that would not normally get to market in an Olympic space.
Right.
Like Wizards of the Coast, like Hasbro, like Nickelodeon, like...
That would be interesting, so we do like you just said, Nickelodeon. You do a thing where that's who airs the games is Nickelodeon.
Right. You have networks competing for the commercial space, the airtime, but we have lots of stuff coming from Nickelodeon. SpongeBob is still a huge secret layer that tons of people still love. I play a lot of the SpongeBob secret layers in my decks because I grew up on SpongeBob.
TMNT
is TMNT, Nickelodeon Classic, right? We have a lot of stuff coming from Sony now with all of these PlayStation secret layers and all of this stuff. We have Hasbro, we have Cartoon Network with a lot of stuff. We have
Cartoon Network's now Warner Brothers would be
Warner Brothers.
No. Disney would be the one with the Marvel.
Well, Disney and Marvel, and
then you've got
you have the giants now that have a
Paramount.
ability to advertise on a scale that they haven't been able to before.
Paramount would be the next one because of Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, yeah, I can see that, and then supporting that little bit of competitive thing that drives everybody a little bit weird and wild. At sometimes it's always, I wish I could go to the Olympics, and the reason is I've like I said, I've met a kid. He lives in town. He was at the Brazil Olympics. He got a silver medal in 2 events as a Paralympic. He's blind, and his parents went to the Olympics with him, and they said it was the most amazing thing they went to, just as a spectator. And then he, listen to him describe the event, and from his point of view, it was even more because he was a competitor, and it was like amazing.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I was very lucky as a child growing up in New York to be able to go to the Winter Olympics in Lake Placid and see that. But
see here, there's nothing.
Never gotten to go to a summer games, and that would be very cool.
Yeah,
but this is also something that could be played in the winter or summer.
Yes,
games. Like that's something that's even better. Is it's so versatile,
and could be you do summer or winter, and do both of them. This is one of those things that could go to both of them. Now, granted, I imagine the Olympic Committee would have a walleye fit. But
of course, yeah, it would never happen. But it's definitely something we're going to be diving more into as we go further along into the series.
Please.
But we definitely want some input from you guys.
Input from people. Just let me know, or let us know what you would do. I mean, if you like the idea, if you don't like the idea, positive, negative, just let us know. All right, bring it on.
Well, it's that time. As much as I hate this.
You gave me a challenge.
I did give you a challenge.
I came to play. I was mean.
Yeah.
Now, I mean,
we're going to go through this deck a little bit and some of your reasoning behind a few of these cards, because this is not okay.
Oh.
So for those of you who weren't here on the first episode, every few episodes we like to do a fun little deck tech challenge for one of us. Chad being someone who builds decks on the regular and is someone who's very good at brewing and building. I'd like to throw some fun challenges at him to see if he can compete. And this is something I threw at him, and we're going to definitely see how this goes on the bonus episode, because this is quite a list, and we're going to throw the list up on the screen for you guys right now to kind of run through real quick so you can see the full Moxfield list. But we're talking about...
I did put it on the Moxfield app because it was easy for me than, was it Architect or whatever? For me, Moxfield's easier. It's just me. So,
I mean, we have a serious...
or whatever.
Serious deck here, a 70-30 split, which is pretty good on stuff to mana.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely seeing some stuff in here like Stomping Ground that we definitely know what you're doing there, and Yafamaya, and lots of haste enablement and lots of protection, and I can definitely see where you're going with this. This is not going to be a fun thing to play against, but as we're going through this list, I mean, guys, let me know what you guys see, because I definitely see some stuff that's not fun for me, which Ashaya is definitely the one I see right off the bat. That's
the top, starting at the top, we got Domri Raid, we got Freyalise and Xanagos, those are the 3 planeswalkers I chose. Well, I mean, for Radadraga, every mana dork you put in there, they also get bigger. So Freyalise makes mana dorks. Xanagos makes mana crazy, and Domri Raid sits there and lets you kind of draw into creatures if you got it, or he's fight enabler, or if you're like some people that let you get dumb enough to max him out, then he's a win con.
Mm-hmm.
So you got that.
And Domri Raid is one there that I was kind of like, why did he put this in there? And then reading through it, I was like, oh, that's why he put that in there.
And then I did put Ashaya and Badger Mole Cub together in this because why?
Gross.
It's green. And when you throw the land stuff in here, it just becomes dumb.
Yeah, and like we said earlier in the episode, we're seeing such a spike in that Badger Mole Cub play that why not throw it in there, because it's doing the thing.
Yep. And it's, and then I threw in a Beast Whisper for card draw. There's so much creatures in this that it's not even funny. The creatures base in this is just, it's a huge amount of creatures. One of the fun ones I threw in there just because it's red-green, and it was Bogart Ramgang. It 3/3 haste and wither, just gross. I put this in kind of as a joke for myself, but then again, it can get gross. Is cheering crowd. Cheering crowd.
Man, because cheering crowd is one of those ones where I'm like, why? And then it goes off, and I'm like, oh, that's why. That's
because
the heck?
If everybody uses it, by the time it makes it back to me, I get four free colorless mana.
Yeah, but every time you do that, I'm like, hell no, I don't want your damn counters.
And if it goes around at once, it's paid for itself on more than one occasion. Because every time this happens, it gets more and more and more. And I know better
than to give you any amount of free mana ever.
Oh, yeah.
Because a 1/1 counter does nothing to me when you're going to win the game with all the free mana we just gave you.
Amen. And then, I threw in a Tali because it's a win con. The Kamal makes your lands into creatures, so that Rada Draga makes them bigger. I also kind of leaned in heavily on the last part of Rada Draga, which is statement.
What I'm a little surprised that you didn't put in here was Toph with the earthbending.
The reasoning for that one was I ran out of room for the ugly.
Yeah, that's true.
But
it's ugly enough.
Yeah. But I leaned in on a lot of whenever you cast a spell, if at least 7 mana was spent to cast the spell, untap target creature, not the one that just came into play, but it can be because of all the haste enablers I give. Put +7/+7, it gains trample until end of turn. So let's say, because I kind of went, I gave put a Tali in here, the Primal Conqueror, and you use with him. You throw him in there, and just now he's 14, and then you got all the haste enablers. You're swinging for 14, and you already got 3 extra cards off of that.
Well, and another one that you threw in there, which is definitely more on the expensive side of this, but something that just does absolute nonsense is Old Gnawbone.
Yes.
You threw Old Gnawbone in.
Yep, I did.
Which just is instantly all of these creatures that are doing combat damage, is just making you that many treasure tokens on top of it. So you're never really out of mana at that point if you can get all of these correct cards out at the right time. And you're playing the perfect color combination to get the right mana ramp to get these out with the haste enablement from red. So you're really doing some gross stuff here.
And then I threw in Morag just to make it even worse.
Yeah.
Multiple combats is always fun.
Multiple combats always does.
The one that made the most people mad, I laughed my butt off because this card is so much fun to play with, is Rurik Thar. You talk about more. I've seen more people mad that I threw in Rurik Thar than the fact that I threw in 3 Eldrazi creatures at first.
Right.
But now I've went down to 2. But you talk about, of all the stuff in this deck that pisses more people off, was Rurik Thar. And I laugh because it's just so funny. One of the weirdest cards, and somebody asked me about this, and why did you put that in there? And it's one of the enchantments that I put in.
We're probably on the same page here. So,
and I saw it off the corner of your eye because
this is the one we're going to talk about a key word in Magic the Gathering that hasn't really been used since, I believe, this set. It was the only set it really was in.
Well, 2 sets. It was my brain's working. Mirage and Visions.
Mirage and Visions, yes. And the art that we had is from Visions, right?
Yeah, well, it's the only printing it's ever had.
Yeah.
So you had Mirage, Visions, and Weatherlight were the block.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they pulled phasing out of Weatherlight. I think they went more into like the cumulative upkeep stuff that was kind of weird.
Yeah. So the card we're talking about is called Katabatic Winds.
Yes.
Which phasing is the key word that we're referring to here. Which, Chad, can you break down phasing?
Phasing's supposed to work the way this was at the time. during your upkeep, this enchantment will come into play. When if it's in play, then it leaves play. Is the way this works, and so the way it comes in during your upkeep, if this is in play, it phases out and disappears. If it's phased out during your upkeep, when it comes back to your turn, then it comes back into play. Now, I think they've had a lot of judges' nonsense questions that happened and several different changes of the way this works now. But to me, the oldest, and it makes more sense this way, is if this is not in play during your upkeep, it comes into play. And if it's in play during your upkeep, it leaves play. That's the simplest and most generic way you can say this. Now, the way Katabatic Winds states is creatures with flying cannot attack, block, or use any abilities, including tap, in addition to their cost. Which means, when this is in play, most flying creatures are sitting there in the air with their thumbs up their ass. Because they're just like, oh, I can't attack, I can't block, and I can't tap to do abilities.
Yeah, so you're pretty much useless. It's
Exactly.
essentially phasing out all of your flying creatures to nothing.
Well, they're still there.
They're there.
They can't do anything.
Well, they can still be sacked for mana.
Right.
They can be, sacked to, Phyrexian Altar.
Yeah.
They can be sacked to whatever. But they're not useful on the board state.
They cannot attack. They cannot block.
Yeah.
They cannot do the things that you want flying creatures to do. Be the evasive. Be the thing that goes and flies over the board to go and whack the people across from the board with it.
Exactly.
It's for every other turn, which can be beneficial if you're playing in the right mindset. Okay, this deck doesn't have a whole lot of flyers. It does have some, like I've got like 2 dragons.
You've got a few flyers in here, but nothing crazy. You're definitely not building what we like to call a bird murder deck.
Yeah, well, that's that deck. So I've got Old Gnawbone. I've got let's see, Inferno of the Star Mounts, and I think
Birds of Paradise.
Birds of Paradise, and Bonehorde Dracosaur.
Yeah, not a lot of flying.
So 3 flyers in the deck. So you've got to be able to find a way to block or take care of said creatures with flying. One of the things is either remove the flying or find a way to make the flying to your best benefit to make it even better. The other enchantment that I threw in here to help against flying is one I always have loved because I think it's hilarious, is Chaos Sphere. It's from Mirage, so it's kind of like the same world. Mm-hmm. And it states, creatures with flying cannot block creatures without flying. Creatures without flying can block creatures with flying. So to break it down easier, flip them. So all your creatures on the ground now fly, and all the creatures on the that flew now don't fly. That makes it a little easier to explain, but it's still weird.
Yeah.
And it's one of those cards that I've always liked since they came out. And because I don't run a boatload of flyers in this deck, it's one of the things that I sit there and go, this is a great card to add to this deck. The other reason why I added it in is because I've got 2 haste enablers that are gross, as in
Concordant Crossroads and Mass Hysteria.
So there's that. I did not put a Guy's Cradle in this, partly because it's a lot of money, and partly because I feel like that there's too many mana dorks, or the mana dorks in this are great. I did put in a Growing Rights of Iklamok because it's eventually a cradle.
Yeah.
And then one of the cards that just somebody was like, I cannot believe you added that in there, was Awaken the Woods. Because it makes a bunch of 1/1 mana dorks that are also lands, which also helps with the earthbending stuff too. So, I mean, the ancillary kind of side-ish, I threw in a Red Sun Zenith because I'm like, Fireball for a done. That goes back in my deck with a bunch of mana dorks is always funny. I threw in a Wheel of Fortune. Granted, that's probably one of the most expensive cards in the entire thing, but it's a fun card to throw in. Vandal Blast to take care of artifacts. Comet Storm to do another mass whatever.
Yeah, Comet Storm is always added.
The artifacts I threw in. I threw medallions. I threw the diamonds in. threw a Gruul Signet. I threw a Scroll Rack, which I thought that's kind of, just in case you needed to take a handful of land and put it back on top and then get some more cards. A Great Hinge, threw the Herbaresque Forge in there because if you get in play early and it just becomes a 1-1, a 2-1, a 3-1, a 4-1, it becomes a problem. And if you can make it work for you, it's one of those cards I think works great.
Yeah.
The enchantments, but as this is more of a creature build. So, I mean, granted, I went way heavy on creatures, which are fun, and which to me, that's the part that I enjoy about Magic the most is turning the big stuff sideways and whacking the living snot out of your friends with the creatures that are size of, the Empire State Building for really. I mean, I put in Kogla because why not?
You know what I'm kind of surprised I did not see in this, which just for fun, Jumbo Cactuar.
I thought about it for about that long, literally about that long.
It's become that when it first got debuted, right? Yeah. Everybody was like, "Oh, this is gonna be so gross."
Yeah.
For about that long.
Yep.
And then you don't see it in any play.
No.
It's really not. I have it in, I think, one deck. And it's
Same.
just for the gimmick of let me swing a 9/9/9/9 at you real quick and put Crash Through on it so it has trample.
Something,
But
I did add Mistcutter Hydra. It's an old school. To me, it's old schoolish in the sense. But what's great about it is pro blue and can't be countered, and it's got haste. So it's like gross. And
it's a big X tapper. Which, with the amount of mana dorks you're generating in the stack, you're potentially tapping this for a shitload of mana.
Yeah. And
just putting a big stompy creature out there.
Now, of the game changers that I put in here, I think
I see a total of...
There's, I think, one or two. Well, he's not now. I was going to say Vorinclex, but he's not a game changer anymore.
No.
To be 100% honest, I think there's one.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, Wheel.
K-Grip.
There's not a game changer, though. I think Hinge is no. Scroll Rack might be.
Yavimaya?
No.
I think the only one in there is Wheel of Fortune. Man.
Maybe. My brain is like
I'm not seeing any other ones.
Soup at the moment.
Off the top of my head, anyway, I'm not seeing any other ones. If you guys see any more in the list, let us know in the comments, because I'm really only seeing Wheel of Fortune. Is Vandal Blast on there?
No.
No? Didn't think so.
Because, I mean, I threw that in there to handle a lot of the artifact stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think any of your artifacts are on there.
Granted, I think if you want to yank Wheel and put in Wheel of Fate or Wheel of Misfortune, you don't have to use that specific wheel. I just thought it was like, okay, this one works. And I pulled the other ones that has Suspend, and I had the one that had Miracle in it to begin with, and I yanked that one out because I was like, eh. But when it came down to it, when I built this, put it together, I was like, okay. This. I thought, this is cool. This is fun. This is gross. And then the part that's hilarious is I handed this off to my brother to go, hey, I'm about 5 heavy. Which 5 cards would you yank out of this? So of the 5 cards he yanked out that I had originally in there, I had Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Hellrider, Kamal, Fist of Krosa, Ulamog, the Ceaseless Gyre, and Eudora, the Wandering Monster. Which the reason the ones I kind of thought was funny was the Ulamog was, I was like,
Ulamog's Ceaseless Hunger was an interesting one.
Yeah, the big removal of half somebody's deck kind of thinking. It's not always half, but the Eudora, the cycling was always gross because you cycle it and put it back in. The Godzilla I always thought was an awesome card for other reasons, because now all your creatures take damage with their face instead of their butts. I've always liked that card. The Crows, Kamal Crozen Fist, which I thought was interesting if I could get it off, was the other ability that he has where he takes and makes your lands into 1/1 creatures. And then if for 5, you give everything Overrun, which is basically +3/+3 and trample. And so as it rolled downhill, I think we pulled this one out and left the other one from Commander Legends, because he does, without paying mana, everything gets +3/+3 and trample. So it's kind of in a better rate.
Yeah.
He's a little more expensive mana-wise, but he does, and he also triggers that +7/+7 thing that Rada triggers off of. So there was a lot of other little things here. The Hellrider would have been hilarious with all the 1/1 forests that I would have thrown into play, but whenever all this was coming down to the wire, and I'm as a commander player, I usually run about 33 to 36 lands.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 30 in this.
Yeah.
Which is kind of like, that's a little light on lands. But when you think about it, all the mana dorks and all the mana accelerators and stuff like that. Now, I did not put any land fetch in this. I did not put any of that in there for personal, ideas, because I wanted more creatures, because the way a Rada reads, you want the mana dorks and then with the creatures and with the other stuff. And I kind of leaned a little more into that. And that's where the breakdown for this monstrosity comes. I think it's gross. It's a little bit, some of the mana curve on this is a little high because of the second ability or third ability, technically, on Rada. But I think there's plenty of mana dorks, plenty of things to make this deck work.
Yes, I absolutely think if you get the right starting hand, which
that's always the thing.
That boils down to any deck, right? You got to have the right starting hand. But I think you have the right artifacts, you have the right enchantments. I think you have the right creature mix. I think it's going to be very fun to see how this goes. The one thing I'm kind of shocked is you didn't put a Soul Ring in here.
Yeah,
that's kind of crazy to me.
Ran into that.
Is that you did not put a Soul Ring in here?
I did put the. I didn't even put an Arcane Signet either. The only
The
only rock I actually put in here was the Talisman.
Yeah.
And the
a Moss Diamond.
Well, I put the Moss Diamond, Fire Diamond, but of what you would call no Arcane Signet, no Soul Ring,
no Fel Warstone,
but I did put in the medallions. So
you got an Emerald Medallion in here,
a Ruby.
You got a Ruby Medallion, and then you've got a Fire Diamond, a Gruul Signet, a Moss Diamond. I mean, you've got stuff.
Yeah,
but you definitely.
And then I put in
the no Soul Ring kind of threw me through a loop, and I was like, "Where is he going with this?" But
and the reason it didn't make it all the way in, and at this point it was kind of like it came down to pips.
Yeah,
I needed the colored pips.
Yep, I can understand.
So that's why I kind of went with the way it went. Granted, turn 1 Soul Ring still gonna be gross, but in this deck, it's kind of like turn 1 Soul Ring into a Ruby Medallion or an Emerald Medallion would be okay, or into a Diamond, that'd be okay. But whenever it's after that, I needed the colored pips is what it really came down to.
I can see where you're going with it, and I'm anxious to see what it's going to do on the bonus episode, man, because that's where we're really going to see where the rubber meets the road here, right? Is it going to do the thing?
Yeah. Now, if you really feel like that you like this deck build,
we can put the link to the deck list in the comments.
Yeah.
For this exact build, if it's something you guys want to print out and try at your own LGS, if you want to go and start hunting this.
Yeah.
So we did a little bit of cost comparison. It's going to cost you for this exact build with the pictures that the prints that they chose, which.
Right.
Some of them I definitely wouldn't choose. The Vorinclex I wouldn't choose. The Urbrask I wouldn't choose. I would probably choose a
English version. Yeah, well, the English, because they put them in the Phyrexian in this. The cheaper ones would have been the cheapest. It looks like it's going to be $806.76 on TCG Player.
Yeah.
Now on Card Kingdom, it's $185.45. Star City Games, it is. $925.
Yeah. Card Trader for all of y'all in the UK and the EU, you're looking at about 700 pounds, a little less. With shipping and everything, you're probably looking a little bit more than 700 pounds for everything.
And then on Cool Stuff Inc. is $1,000.45. There's a couple other ones, but I'm like, that's about as far as I'm willing to go, in the sense of the best price, if you really want to try and do it, is TCG Player. But let's be 100% honest, that can take forever. And that's kind of like who you wanting to pay the money to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, we'll touch on TCG Player and some other places. I mean, I love Card Kingdom. I think they have really great customer service. They do really well, but you're getting what you pay for. I mean, you are paying a premium for some of these things.
The one I like them. I've liked them for a long time. Is Cool Stuff Inc. for several different reasons. Their prices are comparable. They're maybe like this much higher than some other places, but anything over $100 is free shipping. Which I'm like going, that may save you $5-6, but that's $5-6 you didn't have to spend
a lot.
And with this thing, half of this stuff is just so funny that of what's in this to comparison to what other stuff, and I think it's hilarious that the stuff that's in this is just fun. I think it's going to be one of those kind of decks that people are like, that was a fun play, that was a fun build. Now, am I expected to win every game that I play with this? Oh no. The reason why I'm not expecting, because I know board wipes, and this thing has nothing to protect it from board wipes. There's no heroic intervention. There's no
T-Pro,
nothing like that
you can get. There's no.
I didn't even put a fog in.
No fog, no Tabalt's trickery, no anything.
I went straight forward into this, and it's just I was going for fun.
It is very much built to do what Raga Draga does.
Swing it to the fences.
Is going to be interesting to see how it stacks up against myself and our two special guests on the bonus episode and what they decide to bring to the table. Because, I mean, I know what I'm bringing. I think you know what I'm bringing.
Yep.
I think the only way to combat this is with colorless. So I'm gonna bring some Eldrazi grossness to the bonus episode.
That or your doggo deck.
We may see. Well, you guys vote in the comments. Do you guys want to see some colorless mayhem, or do you want to see my mono green? Because my mono green is pretty gross as it is too. So it'll be fun against Raga Draga.
Yep. And I mean, I had fun just kind of, it took me a day or two to figure out how I wanted to do this. And then once I started, I kind of jumped both feet in. So, I mean, if you, in the entire world that you throw, somebody decides to challenge you, and the challenges are always fun. Even if they challenge you to build something you completely and utterly despise. Perfect.
Well, I'm really glad, Chad, that you brought that up.
Don't even start with me with that now.
Because, it's time for another deck tech challenge. And I think I've come up with something that's really fun for you.
Oh, I can already hear it.
So what I want you to build is a mono blue deck with no creatures.
Yeah, my head just...
So I know we're going to see Teferi, obviously.
That's the only
we're going to see a Teferi Planeswalker commander. What other jank are you going to bring to this?
Jank is about right. Oi. So, way to win. Should we Jace for draw my deck out and win like that? He's a lab man kind of thing. Could do that. Do a mill strategy against your opponent.
My instant thought was casting and copying Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Yeah, which is just disgusting.
Because who wants to mill a CMC value of 20 10 times?
Yeah. Oy. And then I kind of had a thought, because he mentioned this, like slided this at me earlier, and I thought of Stroke of Geniusing everybody on the table out using like High Tide and other things like that, and copying High Tide to the high heavens to get like infinite mana and just stroke you to death. Or make my opponents draw out their decks and then pass the turn. It's going to be one of those that it's going to take me a little bit longer to figure this one out, because of the way this one's going to play. Because no creatures is the issue, because I love playing creatures, and I like to be able to play. I mean, I've built blue decks before that have been just blue creature decks, but not spell slingers. Like this is going to have to be a spell slinger.
Merfolk tribal this time.
Ooh, no.
So,
which I've never done Merfolk either tribal. That's kind of funny. I never did that one. I was given Somebody challenged me to build a blue deck before, and I just built a mono blue mono blue creatures that were just low cast cost and swung, just board wide board kind of thing.
A bunch of carpet men.
Yeah, a bunch of flying men and a bunch of flying carpets and stuff like that. Yeah, that makes fun. But it was that kind of a concept where a lot of 1/1 flyers, a lot of that kind of stuff, I was like, okay.
Well, I like taking away horsemanship.
Oh yeah, well,
because everybody loves Sun Quan
Yes.
so much. That's why Portal of Three Kingdoms is my favorite set, because he's a problem to deal with.
Oh,
he's super fun.
Yes.
But I mean, I think we had one heck of a Marvel release today.
Yes.
We had some really fun stuff finishing out Avatar and Standard today.
Boy,
I think we really made some great headway on Magic in the Olympics.
I hope so. That one's going to be an interesting, especially what y'all say about it. So
yeah, I'm really anxious to see what you guys say about that, because it's really something we see that's viable. And next time I think we have a really fun episode planned. We're going to be talking about third-party products.
Yeah.
What's worth the buy, what's not worth the buy. We're going to debut some really cool third-party products that we have, that we use on the daily when we play Magic the Gathering, some fun deck boxes, some fun play mats, some cool card storage options, things like that. And we're also going to be talking about the Marvel release a little bit more. We're going to talk about some more CEDH stuff a little bit more.
Well, hopefully some more Lorwyn by then too.
We're really hoping to see a little bit more of the Lorwyn release come out for the next episode next week, but that's entirely on Wizards, and right now I think they're shifting focus into the summer releases, which is very strange to me. But it's showing where you're at with your community. That's where I'm going to leave that for this episode. But we also have a wonderful bonus episode coming up, guys, on YouTube. You can find our page. We'll put the link in the comments. We're going to be playing out that Raga Draga, which is going to be fun. We're going to see what I bring. We're going to see what T brings. We're going to see what Tim brings. And we're going to have a ton of fun just playing out this Raga Draga and seeing what it can do.
Just FYI, T is my younger brother, and Tim is another guy that plays up here quite often. So
yes. So you guys will meet a couple more members of our play group, and you'll see a lot more of them coming up in future episodes, as well as other players in our group. So we're really looking forward to the next episode, guys.
But I mean, and remember, if you have a mana problem,
we got solutions.